But overall, it's like the guy can ball. Like actions speak louder than words. Welcome to the Fantasy Football Garage. I'm Chris the Candyman, and tonight it's time to draft another big board. We're going to get right into it pretty quick. A little bit of NFL news updates this evening before we jump into our draft. We'll cue into one in under 2 minutes. First, I want to say what up to the boys in the chat. What up, Wobby? Got Green Bean, Lalsamo. Had Bindles and Tyler stopping by earlier. Appreciate the support. Appreciate y'all being here. Hope you're having a fantastic Thursday night. I'm pretty pumped. The weekend has started early for me. I'm taking tomorrow off, which means it's pretty much Friday for me. It's gonna be a good time, and I'm ready to get in some big boards. It's like what 92, 91, 92% filled, and I almost can't imagine what it's going to be like for a couple of days next week when this thing does fill and then it's not there to draft. So we got to strike while the iron is hot, as they say. We're going to get right into it. And before we do, a couple things. I don't know if y'all have seen this, but just going to NBC Sports. Yeah, very, very bright page. Couple things. Okay. Tootin', a little bit of tootin'. Said he had a private workout with the Commanders running backs coach. I like to hear that. That's pretty interesting. They're talking about the injuries to B-Rob and Eckler last year, holding them back. So Tootin going to the Commanders, that would be something. Other news, Fox Sports' Jordan Schultz is of the opinion that Ole Miss QB Jackson Dart won't fall out of the first round. So arrows are pointing up for Dart. That's very bullish. Obviously, he's been trending up. I think he's draftable in the later rounds. It's kind of hard to get him in round 19 and 20 at this point. Aaron Rodgers is wishy-washy on the fence about his career. I have not been drafting much Rodgers. Almost completely fading him. Browns GM Andrew Berry says Travis Hunter is best suited as a wide receiver. That's a bullish signal for me. Keep drafting Hunter. Milroe, in the same press conference, he talks about Milroe having rare physical talent. I posted this on Twitter pretty recently. I could see 4 QBs going in the first round. Whether Milroe is one of them, Shook is one of them, I think, could be, but definitely I'm almost certain Dart, Shedeur, and Ward are all going in the first round. We could, maybe it's not the case. Maybe Shedeur slides out of the first round and he's the one that falls, and Dart and Milroe go ahead of him. It'd be interesting to see. We've got exactly a week to find out. Dallas Goedert, a trade candidate, could be on the trade block for future picks. So keep that in mind. And I think that's the major news, other than Sean Payton doubling down, saying, yeah, we're going to draft a running back. It's either going to be, it could be a first-round pick. It could be Henderson for them. It could be Hampton for them. What this article talks about is Henderson's pass protection chops could give him an edge here among P5 running backs with at least 175 qualifying snaps over the last 4 seasons. His 70.1 PFF pass blocking grade ranks 4th overall. So that's Power 5 conference running backs in college. Henderson is elite. Maybe that gets him drafted a little bit earlier. Other than that, more from Andrew Berry. All options are on the board for number 2 pick. I'm almost certain it's not going to be Shedeur Sanders at this point. And yeah, so that's kind of the news roundup, wrap up. Let's get into a big board without further ado. If you want to join me on this one, I'm going to get in this big board now. So get ready and let's get it. Let's see, we're waiting on 7. Perfect timing. So if you're down, if you want to get in, go ahead and hop in there. Let me throw on a little bit of our... Oh, yes. Yeah, I like that. Some background music for the stream. It's crazy. The draft that I just had pulled up was my one biggest board. And I drafted that, gosh, I want to say 3 weeks ago. And it was actually during one of Pat from the Fantasy Dog Pound streams. He was streaming a $250 biggest board draft. And I said, you know what, let me hop in here. So I joined that draft, ended up with a Dak Prescott, Michael Penix Jr., JJ McCarthy, QB room. And I had JJ McCarthy double stacked in that one with Justin Jefferson, love to see it, and Jordan Addison. Got McCarthy at pick 1, I think it was 147, 145. So that's something that you just really can't pull off at that price anymore. Not that you can't double stack with McCarthy, but I'm having to pay up lately. I'm getting McCarthy in like a round or two ahead of that, pick 121, 130 range. So it's interesting how much things can change week to week, month to month in these tournaments. This one's ending soon. Let's get different. Let's draft. Let's draft a nice team tonight. All right, got Lol Smo in the 8 spot. The Sentry in the 9 spot. What up if you're in here? Say what up in the chat. Appreciate you all being here. Make sure you're subbed. Got a 100 sub goal coming up quick. It's going to be a 4-hour mega draft stream. I'm almost certain I'm going to be doing this on opening night for Best Ball Mania 6. So, real excited to do that. The goal is going to be get in, 5 drafts, 6 drafts on stream when Best Ball Mania drops. So, be on the lookout for that one. Also got something cooking up on the books. I'm in that biggest board with you. LOL, my only one. Yeah, Ant, what up, my man? How you doing tonight? I can pull that up in a bit. Maybe we should pull that up. We can review our teams. That'd be kind of fun. Yeah, I don't know if I'll do another biggest board. We'll see how things go. I might do one more bigger, but I thought it'd be fun. It's always fun to kind of mix in some higher stakes tournaments if you're drafting some volume. What I was saying is next week I'm cooking up a stream with an extra special guest for y'all. It's looking like, I'm not going to announce it quite yet, but it's looking like next Wednesday night, the night before the NFL draft. I'm going to have a guest on who is, I would call a draft expert. And we are going to go through at least the first round of his mock, if not more. And I think it could be really fun. I'm assuming that the big board is going to be closed at that point. We're not going to be able to draft on Wednesday night. And so our plan is just to talk rookies, talk ball, have a good time. So that is going to be announced soon. Looking forward to that one. So I've got the 11 spot. If you've drafted with me before, you already know what I'm thinking. But do I push him to pick 14? What do I think KC35 is going to do? I'm a little bit tempted to grab him at pick 11. Double check my exposures. Yeah. I hate missing out on, being underexposed to Puka, BTJ, Amon-Ra. These are guys I don't want to miss out on, so I'm gonna have to push it. Ooh. It's either Brian Thomas or Amon-Ra. Gosh, how do you argue with this production? I don't know. I'm gonna grab Amon-Ra. It's been a little while. Let me just go ahead and do that. Fingers crossed we can nail down the player I want with my next pick. If Brian Thompson's there, even better, because I was on the fence. Bauer's going in round 1. You don't see that every day. People are trying to get their exposures up, but yo, what up, Donnie Murphy? How you doing on this Thursday night, my friend? Thanks for joining the stream. BTJ over Puka, in my opinion. Yeah, Green Bean, you're wild, but I don't hate it. Oh, guys, I think it's been 2 weeks since I've last drafted Genty. Tonight's the night. Let me cue it up. Turn the music down. You already know what time it is. Let's hit that draft button and roll the clip. I've been waiting to do that for literally weeks. I've been throwing that clip out at y'all for no reason, just to show it off, because I'm so proud that I put that together. But an Amon-Ra Genty start. This is going very nicely. Shout out to Scat P for grabbing Brock Bowers, making this possible, and then KC35 for taking Derrick Henry over Ashton Genty. Hindsight's 2020. Maybe you look back and Derrick Henry was the easy click there, and we undervalued him again. Who knows? Give me Genty. What do y'all think? How exposed are you to Genty? Yeah, roll it. You guys already know. What's your Genty exposure? I think I was at 11%. This will probably get it up to 12%. Who knows? And anywhere from 12 to 15% Genty, I think, is good for me. How does he pay off that ADP? It's honestly, he's going to have to smash. He's going to have quite the season, but there's some things we can do when you start Genty. First off, grabbing Amon-Ra, veteran player, really safe floor, season-long scoring, great week-to-week season or ceiling for his scoring. And then James says, "What up, James? How you doing tonight, my man?" 14% pays off ADO through sheer volume. Yeah, you meant ADP. I got you. Yeah, that's because I was thinking back to the good old days when this was like February, March. You could get Genty at the end of the second round. And so you were seeing him paired with Justin Jefferson, maybe Jamar Chase if you're lucky, some CeeDee Lamb. For a while, it was pretty easy to get. Puka and Genty was a combo I've got some of. But now he typically goes at the end of the first round, beginning of the second, if you're lucky. So there's some differences there. It's been hard to pull off a Genty Jefferson or Jamar Chase team for probably, I think, a full month now at least. Things do change pretty quickly, though. Should have more Henry at the 1-2, clicking more receiver than not. I totally agree with that. If we look at my Henry exposure, it is not a lot. 4.2% Henry, if y'all can see that. I know it's a small number. Shout out to Best Ball Overlay and the crew for hooking it up. I'm really enjoying my Best Ball Overlay. And yeah, Google Chrome is working tonight. I don't know what's going on. Underdog. Oh, y'all didn't see that. Underdog is on their game tonight, so my Chrome browser is not messing up. If I refresh, there's a chance I get the woof error. But if I also if I refresh, I can get my combination tool to pop up. I'm cool without it right now. I'm feeling good. I don't need to necessarily check any combos at the moment. But just knowing my exposures, knowing what players I'm stacking up, keeping me on my toes in this draft, putting the work in. Okay, Adams would have been a player I would have liked to have drafted there. Worthy goes. So the option to go Worthy and Rice is now gone for me. Tyreek falls a little bit in this draft. Could do Marvin Harrison or Josh Allen. Josh Allen feels nice. I think I'm going to go Josh Allen there because I don't have a ton of Josh Allen. And then we'll see. Yeah, I'm probably going to go Cook here. It's a little bit different build, not starting out very not wide receiver heavy, but do I want him? Do I want it? I've been kind of fading Cook a little bit. Does it feel right to have him on this team? Do I go with Rice? Let me mix it up, actually. I'm going to go with Rice. Maybe I don't need James Cook. I've been pretty much fading him to this point. If I looked at my combinations, the teams were the literally two teams I've got Cook on. Pretty sure they're stacked up with Allen already. So let me get different here. Let me go wide receiver, go for straight upside. Rashee Rice. I think he can recover, come back, hopefully dodge some legal troubles. And then that's a really nice payoff for a 4th round pick that should be a 2nd round pick. Wabi's at 6%, so slight fade, but not too far behind. 22%, Donnie Murphy is all aboard the Genty train. Yeah, it's hard not to get excited about him. During the college football season, I would literally stay up late at night for those 10 p.m. start time Boise State games, Mountain West games, playing teams like Hawaii, and the game is starting on a Saturday night at 10 p.m. But I was staying up to watch Genty, and I mean, I watched probably half of all of his games this last season. Started to watch more and more as the season went on, and he started getting close to, at least closer than most, to that record, that total yards, rushing yards record. And the thing I'll say about Genty is he would get a handoff and get stuffed. He would get a handoff and there'd be 3 defenders on him and they'd take him down. He'd break a tackle. They'd take him down a yard later. He'd get 1 or 2 yards. But then as soon as you take your eyes off the screen, the moment you look away, he's going to break through the line. He's going to bust a tackle. He's going to throw someone to the ground, and he's going to take off running for 40 yards, 50 yards, a huge touchdown. Like, if he can get momentum and get some daylight, he's unstoppable. And so, I don't know, does that translate to the NFL? I think it does. The tackle breaking and his elusiveness and just, ability to handle a large workload. His supporting cast was actually, I think, decent. They had, I think his name is Maddox Madsen, something like that, was the quarterback. He was intriguing. Their offensive line seemed decent, but at the same time, he's putting the team on his back, and numerous times he's getting stuffed, but you're always kind of waiting for that one play where he's going to bust it off and break loose for a big play. Oh, Putt Daddy, what up, my man? Thanks for joining the stream tonight. Hope you're having a great Thursday night. Had to get in 11 hours of poker today, and now here smacking that like. How's the draft going, my man? It's going pretty good. This is a fun one. We got Lol Samo in here with us. I don't know if anyone else is in this room right now. We see the Sentry. He's a late night drafter. He's in here, sometimes. Might be lurking. Anyone else? I know I recognize Baldwin. Maybe some of their names. If you're in here, go ahead and tell me what up. And but yeah, it's going good. The draft's going good. Amon-Ra, Genty, you already know I rolled the clip. Josh Allen, Rashee Rice. I think this is a pretty powerful start. Could have potentially the wide receiver 1, if not a wide receiver 1. Of course, Genty has all the upside. Josh Allen, QB1 potential. Rashee Rice should be going in round 2 if healthy. Bendels, GM, Vibes King. Appreciate it, my man. Thanks again for coming on the stream a couple nights ago. Really fun times. Great conversations about this upcoming class. I know you're psyched. And let me know, everyone in the chat, not just Bendels, but when is your first Dynasty rookie draft? Have you already done one? What are you guys seeing out there? I was watching the Dynasty Land Fantasy channel earlier tonight. They might still be live. And I was watching their mock drafts, seeing kind of what's going on. My first Dynasty rookie draft is in exactly 2 weeks from tomorrow. So 15 days, which is kind of far out. I feel like I could draft literally right now. Obviously, it's pre-draft, but I know a lot of people do some pre-draft. Be smashing Rice for Best Ball Mania. Yeah, I think so too. I think I'm going to like to do that. There's poor tackling at every level of football, including NFL. Yeah. Gotcha. Yeah, I follow you, Green Bean. Okay, Waddle goes there. That could have been a nice pick for some AFC East correlation. Genty would go nicely with Chuba Hubbard, not going to lie. I think that'd be a great pick. I would do Kamara the same way, or Ken Walker. I don't really want Kamara with the Saints without Derek Carr. Calvin Ridley's going to be there on the way back. Same thing with Juwan. Otherwise, I think we're clear to take Chuba Hubbard. Now, Chuba was a player I was drafting pretty much the entirety of the big board. So I was getting him in the 3rd round. I was paying up for him a lot. He's fallen quite a bit with Rico Dowdle now being in Carolina. But I don't know if that's completely fair. I still like Chuba. Put up, almost 1,400 total yards last season with 12 touchdowns. So on a terrible team, one of the worst teams, one of the worst offenses, maybe it gets better. Maybe Andy Dalton doesn't play as many games. Bryce Young takes a step forward. I don't think I need Ken Walker now. I could do it. I mean, it's kind of an interesting pick. I'm going to go Calvin Ridley here. I've been drafting Ridley over Juwan Jennings. Bendels got one right after the draft ends. I love that. The sooner the better. For those of us who are staying sharp and in the know, you can take advantage of the situation and get your guys. Let me go ahead and do this. I want Ridley. I want Ridley on this team. Ken Walker, also a nice value there for somebody else. Hampton goes pick 39. That's kind of what I'm used to seeing. Anytime, I think it was even the stream we did last night where Hampton goes at pick 46. I'm extremely jealous. He should be going in this range. Najee goes, another player. I was my number 1 drafted player, running back at least, for a while, but I haven't been clicking him lately. His ADP has just skyrocketed. I think he's a fair value here. I just am not really clicking him there as much right now. Rookie draft's coming up in 10 days. I like that. Yeah, the sooner the better. Anthony, what's up, my man? Best ball on call. Good night. Appreciate all the ambiance. Always, my man. You know where to find it. Thanks for the like, the retweets, the support. And yeah, make sure you're subbed to the channel. Slap that like button. Appreciate y'all being here. We're going to do minimum 2 big boards tonight. So this is the first one. We're kicking it off with this Amon-Ra, Genty, Josh Allen, Rashee Rice, Chuba Hubbard, Calvin Ridley team. It's looking good. It's looking real nice. I don't know. Is Calvin going to hit the age cliff this season? Remember, he took the year off for the gambling. I mean, not that he took the year off. They made him take a year off for the gambling. He had the injury. So I don't know if he's got all of the mileage where... And he came into the league late. He's an older guy coming into the league out of Alabama. He's always been the type of receiver that can spike, get you 3 touchdowns in a game. So I'm always looking for that profile. Jauan Jennings similarly can have a spike week and was in a really nice position, nice role for the 49ers last season. I just don't know if that's sticky. He was like a fourth-year breakout receiver. You got slick Ricky Pearsall there, ready to take over some target share. When does Ayuk come back? Do they draft a wide receiver? Is CMC going to play? If he does, is he going to take targets and plays away from Jauan Jennings that weren't there last season? Or is it CMC's the engine and everyone's scoring more? There's a lot going on with the 49ers. So you can kind of lean into that uncertainty or like variability, but haven't found myself taking a ton of 49ers. Let me check that though. Let me check the best ball overlay. I mean, kind of as I thought. Super low on Brock Purdy because I'm fading Ayuk with the injury. Ricky Pearsall price is a little bit expensive for my liking. I'm fine with Jennings, fine with Kittle, just slightly behind on McCaffrey. So probably I need to draft some more 49ers if I can. One, 2, 3, 0 build. Could be a spot for Hawk. Let me see. Jonnu would be there at around pick 100. I might wait till it comes back around for that next. 107 could be tight end for me. This is still a range where there's some nice wide receivers here. The running backs are kind of stalled out, except for Caleb. If he's there, I think I wouldn't mind getting some Caleb. Of course, Tony Pollard. Oh, Shakir goes. Hate to see it. That's all right. I don't really believe strongly in Shakir. 3.4%. All right. Let's get it. Yeah, not terrible, right, Green Bean? But they bounce back and forth. They have good years. They have bad years. Last year was the bad year for them, wasn't it? They still had some fantasy producers. So, the team that might be a little bit afraid to completely fade. Here's my chance. Am I going to take Brandon Ayuk? No, I'm going to go with Caleb, I think. Do I go with Caleb? So, I actually, yeah. I wanted one of the rookie wide receivers, potentially. Could take Diggs here. I don't really like that move, though. Go Caleb Johnson. I think Caleb Johnson's getting slept on a little bit. I'm pretty sure the difference between Caleb Johnson and maybe Quinshon Judkins is not from a fantasy perspective. They're both very landing spot dependent in my mind for their year one production. But I mean, I like them both. I want to be exposed to both of them. Could grab Pollard here and really have a nice running back room. I think the move is to go wide receiver, although it's either Josh Downs or Steph Diggs, which is kind of gross. God, do I bite the bullet and take Diggs for a little bit of that AFC East correlation? I guess I do. I hate to do that. I mean, my Diggs exposure is so low. He's coming off the injury. I haven't been drafting him a ton since he went to the Patriots. His price tag keeps getting higher and higher. Round 8, I don't hate it, though. I mean, I've got Rice coming off the injury. I've got Diggs coming off an injury. I probably should continue to build out wide receiver for a couple more picks. Hopefully someone falls. We'll see what we can get to. Considering I've got Josh Allen, I don't feel as pressured to take a QB in the QB pocket coming up. So when everyone else is grabbing QBs, I'm going to pivot and keep drafting wide receivers. I feel pretty good about the running backs, but I probably want one more strong veteran running back. Could always grab Jared Goff if he comes back. So be on the lookout for that one. Yeah, if Mahomes would have been there at 83, definitely could have gone there. Let's check in and see what Lawsimo is doing on his team. He gets Egbuka at 80. Nice. Travion. Ohio State. OHIO. Got some Debo, which means you got Jaden Daniels. I noticed that. I think that's fun to stack him up. It's the best time to get Debo when you got Jaden Daniels. Devontae Adams. McCaffrey. A little bit of old veteran players, but definitely, some of the best picks in fantasy year in, year out. So can't hate on that. And the Neighbors, it's looking good. I really like Neighbors matched up with Jaden Daniels. That's a nice pairing. Slight NFC East correlation going on, but just feels really fun getting the LSU quarterback and wide receiver back on the same team. I like it. So you're in a good position with your wideouts. And then you got McCaffrey mixed in with Travion. So you're in a really good spot. I feel like I'm a little bit, I'm probably actually fine at wide receiver. It's just the injury risk. And then at running back, I'm going to want some veterans to balance out these rookies to carry my season-long scoring if the rookies somehow start slow or in a shared backfield and have to take over. Justin Fields goes 98. That's pretty early. Hunter, 74. I would have liked, in one draft, if a Christian Kirk or Darnell Mooney would come back around to pick 107. Doesn't feel like a Scatabo team because I've already got the 2 rookies. What up, Hartman? How you doing, man? Is it too early to go Drake May? I think it sucks to have Steph Diggs and then not stack him with Drake May. I might push him around, see if Drake May comes back. I hate Coleman. I hate having to draft Coleman. Let me go Andrews and then maybe go Bateman. Make the Lamar drafter hate me. Casey right here. Pick 37 went Lamar. Yeah. What up, Tyler? 3-day weekend. You know how it goes. Feels nice. Dang. So the Lamar drafter doesn't even take Bateman there. I kind of want to now. I kind of want to. Charbonnet could be good. I not really a Scatabo build here. I've already got Caleb Johnson. Push Drake May. What's my next pick? I'm going to throw Bateman up there. Let me throw Bateman up there. And then next pick is actually 131. The odds that Drake May falls is 0. But it could happen. I think on a build with Josh Allen in the 3rd, I don't need Drake May yet. It's a little bit heavy on the QB draft capital allocation. Mark Andrews and Bateman, it's like I probably should have taken Lamar Jackson looking back, but I want some of that Ravens offense. I'm a little underexposed to the Ravens. grab those two guys. ETN could have been nice for this build. I'm starting to wonder if there's any possibility the Jaguars take Genty at pick 5. Oh. I got behind. It's going to be a wide receiver by committee in Buffalo. Who's number 1? Exactly, Putt Daddy. You know how I feel. That's partial reason why I'm kind of fading most of those receivers. What if they take Jaden Higgins in round 2? Keon Coleman pushed down in the order. Shakir, not really high on him. And then they just run the ball a lot. Yeah, exactly. I know what you're saying there. Yeah. We were talking about the exposures earlier. Yeah, there's Palmer there. I could grab Palmer late. I haven't been drafting Palmer. I don't think I've taken him one time yet. I don't feel strongly about Shakir or, Keon Coleman. Appreciate you being here, Hartman and Emo Cowboy. Always good to see y'all. Never too early to go Drake May. Yeah, I saw that at the corner of my eye, and then I still didn't do it. Never don't let chains of ADP prevent you from building the team you want. Green Bean with the philosophical take there. Philosophizing. Keon and Palmer. Yeah, I just can't stand Keon. I'd rather almost take naked Josh Allen than even get Keon. Palmer's fine. I could still... There's a chance that I can get Dalton Kincaid, so... I'm just pretty against Keon. I don't think he's that good. Exactly. Yeah. It's been done. So I'm getting Diggs more of just to play off my Josh Allen. A little bit of correlation there. In the same division, maybe they play week 17, 16, or 15, who knows. Otherwise, it's just... look how many wide receivers went between where I took Diggs. It was Downs, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 until it came back to me. So it's pretty stagnant there. Maybe I probably should have taken Tony Pollard. And then I could have had, maybe Marvin Mims or Bateman or Pittman. Well, as my wide receiver 4, I don't know. We'll see. I think it's playing out just fine. Let me jump back and review my team. While you're here, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Got a 100 subscriber goal for a 4-hour mega stream draftathon. Probably the night that Best Ball Mania drops. So be on the lookout for that. It's going to be a good time. And appreciate y'all all being here and chilling on this Thursday night. This is big board number 1 of at least 2 or 3 tonight. It's going to be a good stream, so buckle up. Yeah, Drake May goes pick 125. Quinion, Namabe. I got a 1-3-5-1 build at pick 11 coming up. I think we're in a good spot where we can take advantage of whatever's on the board. Whether it's Jaden Higgins or Trey Harris, I would like those picks. Kincaid's obvious. The fact that Casey 32 has Hawkinson makes me feel like I could push Kincaid. Let me double check his team real quick. Yeah, I'm surprised that Higgins goes. I'm not that surprised about Higgins going. Tootin's there. A little bit of Tootin. Tank Bigsby. Tank had some good games. He kind of came on strong. I'm going to grab Kincaid while I can. Probably stop at 2 tight ends now. And then I'm good with the upside of either Trey Harris or a little bit of Tootin. Quentin goes. Quentin goes. Trevor Lawrence, of course. I could have predicted that. Yo, what up, Travioli? How you doing tonight, my man? Hope you're having a good Thursday night. We're doing great over here. This team's coming together. This is pretty fun. I'm going to go Trey Harris. Ever since I talked to Bindles on stream the other night, I'm wanting more and more Trey Harris. Feels like a fun pick. I took so many veteran receivers. I took Amon-Ra, followed that up with Rashee Rice, coming off the injury. Then I took Calvin Ridley, older veteran. I got Steph Diggs, older veteran, coming off an injury. And then my last two picks, Bateman, kind of a veteran, but just a high upside offense. Mark Andrews, so double dipping in the Ravens, probably pissing off KC35, who has Lamar Jackson, but for some reason didn't take Rashad Bateman. And then I grabbed Trey Harris. So I'm pairing my upside in the position at wide receiver with some of those veteran players. I'm probably done at tight end, these two. I can hammer some late upside at running back, but I mean, I kind of put myself in a tough position at running back. I took 3 in the first 7 rounds, which is good. But then by going Genty and Caleb Johnson, I've got those 2 rookies, got to bounce it out with Chuba. I probably wanted to get 1 or 2 more veterans kind of in this middle range before it gets too late, because sooner or later, I'm going to be tempted to draft more rookie running backs, and I'm already so exposed. My floor is kind of lowered. I mean, maybe Genty is so different that I shouldn't worry about that as much, but if I'm going to hammer rookie running backs late for the upside, I need to have a nice floor prepared with guys like Chuba Hubbard. Could have taken a Jerome Ford, or maybe, I don't know. We'll see who else is there on the next pick. Lalsimo grabs Stafford to pick 128 for his Puka. Oh, no, wait. That was for... Yeah, why did you do that? You didn't have Puka. You just really believe in Matt Stafford, or maybe you got queued up. Maybe you got the star method. Gotcha. I'm always interested to see where Dallas Goedert goes. Like I was, it's going to be bright, so prepare your eyes. I wish there was dark mode on Roto World, but the rumors, was it down here? Yeah, the rumors. Let's read back into this. He's on the trade block. There's not much noise about extending him in Philly. Their price may be dropping. So you heard it here. Pretty much third. That's like a report of a report, and I know I'm reporting it. But oh, I totally missed that. Yeah, I knew you did it for some reason, but I just didn't. It didn't click for me. So yeah, I do like that with Adams, of course. Get your guy season, especially if it's a stack you don't have a ton of so far, and then you're worried about the Puka guy grabbing him out from under you. Totally makes sense. Yeah, I totally do. I think it's more balancing out Caleb and the fact that I've only got 3 running backs through 12 picks. Time to hammer RB, and it looks like in this room in particular, I mean, Tootin is kind of falling back into the 40s more frequently. Some of these other sophomore running backs, which I do see them fall quite a lot, are going already. But yeah, where does Goddard land? Which teams could be trading for him? It sounds like the price is getting lowered. The Texans could be an interesting candidate. They have a hard time drafting tight ends, and they signed Schultz out of Dallas. They could look to trade maybe for Goddard, a guy who can block and catch. They could use a guy like him. But yeah, when it sounds like when, not if, but when Goddard departs the Eagles, who are their backups? There's like Grant Calcitrata, whatever, was the backup last year. Who else? I'm trying to think of another name. I do want some Harvey. Ray Davis could be fine on this team. Palmer sooner than later. Did I get it? Yeah, I got it. I've got a ton of get-ins. I want to mix in some Harvey. So now I'm really committing to the rookies early, which means I'm going to go more veterans late. I could take Ray Davis here to do that. He got some amount of workload. Cam Ward would be an interesting pick. Unfortunately, he just went. I kind of dropped the ball on that one. Definitely should have considered it the way I built this team. I think the chance Josh Palmer is a guy for Josh Allen is a little bit better correlated, even taking him in front of ADP, but we're at that spot in the draft. Like I say, these are pretty much all $1 auction bids, so doesn't feel like I need Ray Davis as much, but nice to have a double stack here. Yeah, Algier, tons of exposure to Algier. Could be a really nice pick. Probably won't come back around. All right, got to figure out this QB situation because Cam Ward was definitely the play there. Let me show you all the board again. I'll figure something out late. I'm kind of running out on stacking partners, though, considering I'm going 2 tight end most likely, and then what I've already got 7 wide receivers. Should have gone Cam Ward. No, I think that was a really good pick to go Algier there. Dang, I wish I'd seen that one too. I want more Harvey. I don't know if this is the team for him though. Probably should have gone Cam Ward and then maybe Algier comes back around. It's pretty rare. I've seen it a few times. Could work out. There's a couple other guys like Algier still available that maybe not as talented as him, but I think Palmer was the right move. Even though Palmer used to be going way back here, there's not much difference with him taking him in round 14. Be right back. Letting my dog out. Hopkins goes early, and Kyle Williams too. Some might say it's never too early to take Kyle Williams, especially in this range. Some people are really in on him. I like the Palmer click to get the double. That's kind of what I was thinking. It's like, it's more worth it to secure that double. I'll figure out what I'm going to do at running back with the remaining picks I have. QB though, let me take some looks. Yeah, I'm glad Dowdle just went. I honestly didn't need him on this team with Chuba. Oh, Algier goes the pick before me. You hate to see it. Could have called that one. Martinez, of course, but then again, all rookies. Gosh, it really dried up at QB. So, Dart or Shedeur or both. Go Martinez. I know who Hames is a big fan of Martinez. I've got decent exposure. I'm going all out with the rookie running backs on this team. Is what it is. Made a mistake. Didn't take Tony Pollard when I had the chance. Didn't take Algier when I had the chance. And then Casey got 3 quarterbacks, so we already know he wasn't going to take one of the rookies. Doesn't need him. Okay. I'm trying to see what my other outs would be. Damn. Let me do Dart. And it's early. I'm thinking of the teams where he might go. He could be a Saint, a Steeler. You know, maybe he's competing in a spot like, if he's not a first round pick, he could be on the Raiders, Seahawks, which would be bad. Shedeur seems like he's the obvious faller right now. I'm even tempted to maybe go Milroe over him. Probably will take that third QB because it's 20 rounds. A week from now, we see where Jackson Dart goes. If he's a full-time starter from day one or even early on, and Josh Allen's bye week isn't so early in the season, could be a 2 QB build. Really, with Josh Allen, you don't need much else. Classic. Let me get rid of this too. You guys saw nothing. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, Hartman. The Giants and Browns. That's the thing that I don't have any Giants and Browns on this squad, and I'm not going to get any more of them. Maybe because I have some wide receiver spots open. Could take like a Slayton or something if he's still there. Wandale just goes. This feels like a warm-up draft. That's the problem. I don't take a ton of Josh Allen. When I do, I feel like it really dictates the players I have to draft. Get a little bit behind to start because you went elite QB, but then you're taking guys like Josh Palmer, who I don't like to click, and Dalton Kincaid, who I typically don't like to click, over potential, some upside running backs here, other QBs in this range. Do I go 2? Do I go 3? What do y'all think? I probably go 3, right? So Shedeur goes. If Milroe's there, I'll probably grab him. Just a different build. Get different. I don't have any Josh Allen, Jackson Dart, Milroe teams. Dart. I mean, when this contest first opened, it was still so long ago that I was taking Milroe in round 2019 kind of frequently on most teams, and then for most of this contest being open, I stopped drafting Milroe. Went back towards Dart in like the last month. I don't have a ton though. And I don't even have that much Milrow. I think it was 2 or 3 drafts. Shipley goes kind of early. That would have been a nice pick on my team. Just another sophomore running back on a good team, on a good offense, potentially in a good role. One injury away, or just kind of takes a step forward in the sophomore year. Still 4 picks left. Kind of a slower draft. I mean, you get to these next 4 picks. But just on the other side, we're going to jump right back into another big board. Stay tuned. If you want to jump in that one with me, I'll count it down. So we'll get ready for it. Appreciate you all being here. Make sure you hit that like. Make sure you're subbed. Turn on notifications if you're into drafting along. If you want to make sure you can get in on these streams. And follow me on Twitter too. I try not to overdo it with the self-promotion on there. But just bear with me as I'm trying to grow the channel. And sometimes some of the good content gets overshadowed by the self-promotion. But I'm learning, so I'm open to feedback too. But yeah, I appreciate y'all all being here. I think this draft, it's fine so far. We'll see how we can land the plane. I'm going to push Milrow since Casey doesn't need a quarterback. I'm going to go Slayton, I think. Kendra could be fine on this team. Y'all hate Justice Hill. Y'all want me to take Keaton Missile? I already know it. Oh, shoot. I was going to take Slayton. I took Milrow. What up, Pat? How you doing tonight, my man? We're killing out here. Some candy. You want some Easter candy? I got some for you. It's actually another room. We had to hide it. We did an Easter egg hunt today. It's a good time. So I got it. I got the candy. And, ooh, Slayton's still there. Okay, assuming the Giants might get Dart or Milrow, is it worth trying to pair him up with Slayton? I think we could do that. Slayton's still a nice click. Don't have enough there. One of these running backs will come back. Let's get Slayton here. Kind of tidy up the wide receivers. Yeah, there's not any other Bills that I'm gonna want anyways. Oh, Curtis Samuel. People counting him out. Yeah, just had such a bad season last year. Hate to see it. Wasn't he Ohio State? That'll do one of the big bunnies. Yeah, my favorite. Reese's Bunny. Or just the big chocolate bunnies too. Those are good. Yeah, it's a late night stream. We're going to be doing quite a few big boards. This is the first one. It's about to wrap up. It's a little bit of a slow draft. But going to be hammering another one at least after this. Maybe 2 more. It's Friday for me. It's a long weekend. So I'm out here drafting, filling up this big board, getting after it. This is, I guess it'd be my 100. This is my 121st pre-NFL draft tournament. The peeps Nah, Peeps is the worst. Yeah, Peeps are the worst. We all know it. The draft is almost here, and man, I can hardly believe it. It feels like it's so close. It's been, you know, a long way coming for so many months doing all these drafts, thinking up landing spots for rookies, all these different news snippets and things going on. It's pretty exciting. So we're about to be there, and a lot's going to change. The only thing certain is change these rookie spots and who gets drafted, who doesn't. It's going to be wild. So I'm here for it. Excited for Best Ball Mania to drop. And that's the goal. If you aren't subbed to the channel, make sure you do, because when I hit 100 subs, I'm going to be launching a 4-hour mega stream draftathon, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to schedule it, like I said earlier, when Best Ball Mania drops for that first night of drafting, getting some plus EV on those early drafts, those early ADPs that are never going to be there again. We'll see how many of those teams we can crank out, and then that'll be fun to look back on kind of a week or even a month after Best Ball Mania has been open and things change quickly. When the big board opened, Travis Hunter didn't have an ADP, which was crazy. It didn't take more than 24 hours, but wild stuff. Yeah, we're all on the same page. That's all it took. Oh, Putt Daddy, get out of here. Sub to this man. Appreciate you. Peeps are nasty. Okay, we are pretty much all in consensus except for Putt Daddy that we hate the Peeps. There's some nostalgia in there. I think, yeah, I got to go with the... Well, I do like the Cadbury eggs, the cream-filled chocolate eggs. Those are pretty good. But I think the best is just classic, the Reese's egg peanut butter chocolate for the win. Peep Daddy. Peep Daddy. I'm never going to call you that again. Don't worry. Yeah. Yep. And he knows it. Putt Daddy getting roasted for his take. What do y'all think about, and hold back the puke, but Alexander Mattison? I've been thinking about this. Alexander Mattison, veteran running back, tried and true. He's on a new team. He's with the Dolphins. Do they put him in a situation where he's the RB2, is right, not the right guy for them? I've taken him at least once. Go ahead and grab Kendre on the squad. See, I shouldn't have done it to myself by taking Harvey and Martinez and Caleb. I really can't go for Jordan James on this team. Someone has to convince me quickly. Got 10 seconds to convince me not to draft Alexander Mattison. I like it because I'm going with this AFC. Boom. Too late, Hartman. It's the AFC East correlation. Just a little bit. Alexander Mattison. I mean, Curtis Samuel, what's the difference? 20th round pick. I hit the draft board. We'll recap the team quickly. Get into another draft. 3-7-8-2 build. It was fine. I think it started somewhat strong. We should have taken QB when we had the chance, and Cam Ward. Probably could have gone Pollard before that too. I think with Pollard and Cam Ward, this team looks nice. With Milrow and Dart, it's more of a surprise box. The boys really come out in full force to not only hate the Peeps, but love the Reese's. Don't worry, never gonna call you that, Bud Daddy. Yeah, Kit Kats. Yeah, Kit Kats. Yep, the order. I know what you're saying. Yeah, Hartman was like, no, don't take Madison. The guy sucks. The Whopper eggs, though, I think that's some nostalgia coming back at you. I don't know if those were actually any good or ever were. Hate to break it to you. I think as I get older, it's like I eat so little candy that it's not even worth it to eat like bad candy that's not the best. So it's pretty hard to stray off of the Reese's. I'll throw in like a classic, like a Snickers or something, little Snickers bites. Twix. You guys are all sleeping on Twix. I know you guys like Twix. Terrence Ferguson gets drafted. Interesting. All right. Let's do a quick review, and then we'll jump into this next draft pretty quickly. Reese's Kit Kat again. Whatchamacallit? No, going too deep. You're going too deep. You're scrolling the F down. You need to stay up. Completed. Okay, yeah. That was it. That was 120. 120. Where'd it go? That's weird. The draft disappeared. I'm telling you, Underdog they're slipping up on their web browser game. I mean, then I don't know. Brush your teeth. Pull up the biggest board while you're at it. Yeah. Okay, Ant-Man. I don't know what's going on with the big board right now. Can't see the latest drafted team. Let's pull open this biggest board. Pat, you're actually in this one too, if you're still here in the chat chilling. Ant-Man was telling me earlier that he was in this one. This is the one we did. Yeah, there he is. There's Ant-Man. Let me pop back out actually, because the date was on there. So this is from over a month ago. And it'll be fun. We can review all three of our teams now. Yeah, let's have a look. Ooh-wee. Okay. I think it'll be fun to look at it in this way. Let's look at the entire board, because then some things might pop out at us that are different. Ant-Man gets the Jamar Chase, Tyreek Hill, Bucky start. Hey, a nice value for Devontae Adams these days. I got lucky with the 3 spot. I mean, in this $250 draft, it's exactly what you want. Kind of, in my mind, I want to be on the front of the board. Jefferson, T, Brees, Chuba, both of these guys have kind of taken some hits. Pat with Bijan, nice little faller on Lad, scooping up some value. JSN and T-Mac. So that's a good start. King of Kings in this room too. I'm not surprised. Oh, this was a draft with El Gru. The Best Ball Mania 5 winner was in here. He started off with BTJ Genty at 15. and then goes to the Lamar Flowers stack. Gotta watch out for this guy. What do we do next? Ant goes with the Burrow stack, a Pearsall, Ayuk, Jonnu. Looks like he gets Purdy next. Yep. Pretty nice. Solid. I know I end up double stacking, so I get Addison there. Montgomery, I think, is a good pick for this team. Burden, that's fun. Still there. Mooney, not bad. And I get Penix later, too. And then Mark Andrews, interesting. Pat goes with Rice. It's a great value now. Egbuka, why not? Mahomes with his Rice. And then Hawkinson. I think I do remember. I mean, I could always have triples. You could always triple stack, but probably for the best that I double stacked there and didn't triple stack with Hawkinson. But I've got some of those in some other teams too. Elgru gets Cortland Sutton, Alvin Kamara, Khalil Shakir, and Bo Nix with his Sutton. So he's putting in the work, stacking it up. How do we finish these off, boys? Pat grabbed Ramondre. Elgru gets Tyler Warren. I'm really liking this team actually over here out of the 10 spot. All right. So Ant, I just figured it out. I'm pretty sure Anthony Edwards and John Wall, if that's what Ant Wall is. Ant by Wall. I was calling you Ant-Man. DeAndre Swift. Chat, you guys have been telling me DeAndre Swift is a terrible pick for weeks, but we know Ant's a good drafter. He's in here in the 1 spot in a $250 draft, and he grabs Swift right where I get him all the time. So it can't be that bad of a pick, guys. I get Dak. I don't know why I picked Dak there. I think I was afraid of missing out on QBs because I backstack Dak later with Jake Ferguson and Tolbert. But, I don't know how much sense it made kind of looking back at it. I think it's hard in the moment you don't want to miss out on the QB pocket. We're in a bigger board together too. I mean, I'm not surprised. I'm always chilling in your stream, just what's going on? And then it's, waiting for 5 more for a bigger board. I'm like, I might as well. At least we can all advance out of this pod together. These 4 teams that we're looking at. Well, and then we got King of Kings over here. Maybe we beat out the Best Ball Mania champ and we all advance out. Let's quickly finish this one up. So Coleman, Spears, Tua with the stack with your Tyreek. I like that. Like I said, I took QBs in the tight end. Pat gets Dobbins. He's been falling. He's been falling, but there's not a big difference between pick 117 and pick 140, 150 in terms of these running backs where he's going. Maybe you'd like to have someone else there now, but I don't hate it. Colston Loveland, good pick. The QJ, and then Fields is the nice pick. So in a sense, effectively you flipped Fields with Dobbins where they're going these days. So that works out all as well. Bateman likely. So he's triple stacking up his Lamar after I took Andrews, Tank, Rashad White, King of Kings goes Njoku, Trey Harris. Anthony Richardson was going quite a bit earlier last month, and then Jerome Ford has been rising since then, I guess. Next big board draft right around the corner. Appreciate y'all all kicking it here tonight, getting these drafts in. Let's finish this one up. Caden Kmet, Algier Thielen, Eckler, Mitchell, Yoshi with the stack. Get some Rashad Smith. Pat goes for Darnold. I think that's with your JSN. And then Ollie Gordon, Damian Martinez, Kendre Miller. We're just firing at running backs in this range. Harold Fanning goes early. Does he know something we all don't? I know a bunch of us in this draft, in this chat, all of us right now hanging out. A lot of us are in on Fanning, so Harvey goes to a good spot. Savion. Aaron Rodgers, does he retire? And then Dart actually goes pick 200. Not far off from where we drafted him tonight. Yeah. Tyler Beatty. Not something you see every day. Last night, y'all were trying to get me to draft Jaleel McLaughlin. I didn't do it, but I'm listening. I probably have too much Antonio Gibson, if I'm being honest. And then Pat ended up with Theo, Ty Felton, Elijah Moore. Where's Moore going to land? We know he's going to land. He's got to land somewhere, right? Where's it going to be? Butte in Washington's kind of interesting. Raheem Dante Thornton Jr. Sprinter. 12 spots, last 2 picks. Oh, you know what? I do remember this draft now. From what was when we were in this? Yeah. Pre-Najee. Wait, is this pre-Najee news? Where'd Najee go? It is. He goes 104. Dang. That's fun. It is pre-Najee. But, okay, so back to that thought. Hartman called it out. I remember this in the moment. For some reason, the drafter in the 12th spot was doing weird things. He goes Bowers, takes 3 running backs, grabs Jacoby Myers. He's like a Raiders fan. I don't know, Jay Campo, what's going on? Jerry Jeudy, Raheem Shaheed, so drafting players, he knows the names. Cooper Kupp, Tucker Kraft, Herbert goes a bit early. Dubs, Pierce goes super early. Wicks, very early. Wandale, all these picks are reaches. Nick Chubb, Derek Carr, Trey Tucker, another Raider. Michael Mayer, Raider. Lauby, McCormick. Dude, wild. I don't know how to explain that. We're gonna. Yeah, it's strange, right? Do another. Yes, sir. RM Covers. Appreciate you being here, my man. Hope you're having a great Thursday night. Jay Campos doing that back-to-back high-stakes draft. Yeah, wild stuff. Yeah, I hope so. Imagine he advances and we don't. You're gonna feel like an idiot. That's all right though. Am I trying to fill a big board? Let's do it. Let's get in there right now. Count it down in 3, 2, 1. Snap filled. Uh-oh. Oh, no. I should have slowed it down. I should have slowed it down for the boys. Oh. Dang. Y'all must be in the overflow room. Dang. Yeah. I will. My bad. Too quick with it. Multi-table you won't? Try me. Are you guys in the other room? 3, 2, 1. Let's go. 8 people. Y'all may not know this because it's been a while, but I used to exclusively stream multi-tabling. Rarely ever. It would have to be a Best Ball Mania for me not to multi-table. I have a old video. You have to go back 2 years to find it, where I streamed, and people have done more. But there was one where I did 3 puppies at a time and had them all on the screen at the same time. I've since learned that it's much better to flip in between tabs. But back in the day, it used to be a contest. Who could multi-table the most of the lowest stakes tournaments? Pat probably has that record, something like 12 at a time or 7 at a time. Last time I think it was the last year when I jumped on with Pat on in the Fantasy Dog Pound channel. We were streaming. It must have been Poodles at that time last year, and we had like 2 or 3 going. And yeah, just always a good time. So I'm down. We're still waiting on 3 more. You guys tell me to double table. You can't even fill a room. Come on. We did 20. Yeah, I know. You've done insane numbers. Maniac. Lego. True professional. Wow, I wish. Yeah, the mobile's where it's easy. It's here where you got to keep your head on a swivel. Speaking of, see, y'all aren't going to care about this room because there's no one that we know in it. But I'll flip back and forth. I probably will keep our board up and then flip to this one to make picks so that it live updates. Go Nico here. I mean, still waiting on one, so we might as well grab the board while we can. All right, let's get it. Waiting on one person. Put out the bat signal. Oh, shoot. I mean, technically I can. By the time I tweet this out, it's going to fill. Y'all. Oh. Doing too much. I saw 6 away and I was like, no way. But somehow. I mean, what am I doing? We're waiting on 2 more? Guys, the room's 1 more. Okay. All right. Back. Still 2 picks away. I don't know what's going on, but we filled it. Let's see who's in here. Oh, the 2 spot. Love to see it. Got some RM covers. The main man, Hartman. Pat's in here in the 9 spot. Travioli in the 11. Oh, I like this. I'm gonna go some AJ Brown. Max 3 cheap or some ish when they did have those clocks. Ooh, those were wild. Yeah, I remember where I was. It was 4th of July weekend last year when they introduced the 10, the 20. Was it 10, 15, and 20-second clock? I think it was a Schnauzer. They're mini Schnauzers. And I think it was 10, 20, and 30-second clocks only. I'm pretty certain those dropped. It was 4th of July weekend because I was in Vermont on vacation, and you can draft in Vermont, and I did a lot of drafting that weekend. Super fun. Yeah, I think with the big mainstay tournaments like Best Ball Mania, and I'm willing to be proven wrong when it comes out in a week. I think they're going to stick with their 30 and then their standard flow, just because it does kind of change the draft the tournament dynamic when you have those faster clocks. But I mean, hey, they could institute it. I don't know how that feedback, what the feedback, how they internalize that, how they're going to implement it. Okay. Yeah, I need some Bijan. I need some Bijan too. RM covers, grabs Bijan at pick 3. Saquon falls to 5. In Dubbo, 2 in this room. Like, what's going on? Yeah, it was. It was a super fun time. There was a ton of tournaments that was out that week. Peak best ball summer, right around 4th of July. Fast puppy. I honestly did one fast puppy. Not a tournament that I was really interested in as much. So I think it was 30-second clock. Hartman, big board 150. Congrats. Love to see it. You have to share some of your more interesting exposures and fades with us now that you're done. Now that you've got those 150 in, see how they played out. My first draft room. Got the Nico, got the AJ Brown. Two picks away. This is going to be nice. And you can't go wrong with one of these 3 picks. And then a chance to stack up Jaden Daniels. What are y'all doing over here on this side? Pat starts with the BTJ Drake London. There's some firepower in that start. A lot of targets. Hell yeah, we did Travioli. I was talking about this last night. Right before I went live, I was reading it and not too surprised. Andy Bendels. Get some sleep, Bendels. Late on the East Coast. Appreciate you being here, man. Dang, I would have liked to have gotten one of those other picks, honestly. I'll take Davante Adams. I would have liked Terry McLaurin. With Justin Jefferson. I'll go McBride. Got a ton of McBride. I'm going to keep doing it. The start is Nico Collins, AJ Brown, Davante Adams. Whoo! And talk about wide receivers who can get you there. On the clock in our draft, you guys made those corner. Oh, I guess I'm in the 2 spots. That's not that crazy, but that was kind of quick. I think I'm going to pull up Marvin Harrison. Yep. It's either him or Lamar, because I'm going to get different with Lamar in a Justin Jefferson team. But I'm going to go Harrison with McBride. RMC covers takes DJ Moore. I'm up next over here. Kind of nice having a spot in the, the 9 spot and the 2 spot. It's a very different draft. Hampton goes 39. We'll go ahead and take Hurts. Get a little bit more Hurts. I don't think I would have taken Rice over Adams, but getting Rice and Worthy there would have been really fun, actually. Something I haven't done in a few weeks. All right. What are you guys up to over here? RMC covers gets T. DJ Moore. I like those wide receivers when you go Bijan. That's a nice start. Hartman gets his lad and Josh Jacobs. Pat just pissing down the board. Same thing with B. Sloan over here. Time for us to catch up. Don't want to fall behind. Yeah, there it is. Travioli. Bring me the Formuloni. Xavier Worthy. Rashi Rice. Love it. Brock Bowers. Ooh. You know. Genty. Ooh. 12 picks away. Let's roll the clip. Yeah. 0% Chase Brown and Juwan Jennings, the biggest fades from Hartman. Interesting. Let me show you all the board. Packets, Omarion Hampton. He's going to be a good one. Is he a Bronco? Is he a Brown? Is he a Cowboy? 1 week to find out. Oh, wait, what? R.D. Hearn. R.D. Hearn, 18. What are you doing? Passing on Jaden Daniels. That's a no-no. Got to stack them. Stack them while you got them. Oh, do I take Hurts here too? That kind of feels sweet. Okay. Come on, D. Sloan. You know you want to skip out on Hurts. You're going to go for Burrow. Do it. Do it. He's going to do it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm just catching up on the chat, but that's what my thoughts exactly. Yep. That's a big no-no in this room when you're me at least. And you're on the clock in both drafts. Shout out. Let me get some Godwin over here. And then I already know. I don't know why I didn't have him queued up, but I wanted to go Hurts. For the stack. Boom. 2 rooms, 2 Hurts teams. 100% chance of getting confused now that I've done that. 100% chance I'm going to get confused now. Let me see this one. Let me see how this one sounds. Oh, that's the Genty song. The intro song. Let's roll with this one for a bit. And then 4 picks away. You're going to need a running back sooner than later. What are y'all up to over here? Playing catch up. RMC covers, gets Addison. Okay, I see what you're doing. T. Higgins and Addison. You don't think Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson are going to hit? I see what you're doing. Hartman gets T-Mac. Oh, and J-Mo. There you go. Add some firepower to that running back room. That running back start to that wide receiver room. We got DK is going a little bit later than he should. Travioli gets Olave. And then Kamara. Okay. I mean, I'm usually team fade the Saints at this point, but I can't hate on that. team stacks is what it's all about pre-draft. And I got James Conner over here. Nice. Calvin Ridley, my favorite clicks. Definitely going to be a riser the minute Cam Moore gets drafted. I think his price is starting to get a little bit more fair. You don't see Ridley going in the 80s or late 70s much anymore. It's a fair price. 60s, late 50s. Could be going early 50s pretty soon. Is it time for running back? Could be. Feel strong at wide receiver. I'm going to go back to this one. Back to this one. Do I want Quinshon Judkins on this team? Probably. I like it. Might have been nice to get James Conner on this team. I've already invested so much in the Cardinals, but not like a must-have. Laporta. Najee. Feels like Pollard's kind of the way to go on this build. Might have been there with my next pick. We'll just see what's going to go and make it around. There's been a little bit of a run on running backs there, so you up some more wide out. Catch up with y'all. I took Najee, finally. Pick 74, I'm good with it. Quinshon, Najee, fun pairing. Rookie upside. The veteran, season-long. Floor, a lot of scoring. Playoff hammer. Oh, no. Ben Sinnott goes, pick 67. Now, I will say, I've seen them not cancel drafts where things like this have happened. But the star method strikes again. Been there, done that. Well, not me personally. I've never had that happen, but you know what I'm saying. Hurts here. If it's not Hurts, who is it? I mean Hawk. If it's not Hawk, who is it? just gonna stack them up. Get a little bit of Baker. It's a little bit early. Still a chance I can come back at Nico and Stafford, but maybe this is a build where I just want to stack them when I have the chance. Could be worse. McMillan. I'll have to look for McMillan on the way back. He makes it back. Yeah, not looking good, boys. Yeah, he's recovering. He's got a badge. He can recover. Otherwise, team's looking good. Burden at 83 is fun. Hugo Ayuk there. Travis Hunter at 76. Solid pick. Burrow kind of falls a little bit. But he gets scooped up naked. It always goes that way. I mean, people just don't let Burrow keep falling. I don't know what's up with that. Yeah, I saw that. Mahomes going a pick before you with the double stack. You hate to see it. That's why we play the game. Never know what's going to happen. And wide receiver really dried up, huh? Mm-hmm. I think it's Mooney. Feels like the right click. Could be Kirk there. And that's how you double stack it, boys. No problem. No problem at all. Make it easy. What we doing? Some Caleb, some Aaron Jones. Burden Ayuk. Travis Hunter gets the Jared Goff to go with, I think you had Laporta, right? No. J-Mo. Before I forget. Boom. There's the banner. The banner moves so quickly, though. I wish there was a way to slow it down. Maybe there is. It's kind of annoying at the end of the day. No more banner. Yeah, J-Mo and Gibbs. I did forget that you also had Gibbs. Let's check out what he's talking about. Yeah, I did. Caleb's going at 92. You get Jordan Mason at 94. Get your guys. But the Doomsday DJ Moore, of course. Man, 2 double stacks getting sniped. I'm lucky to have gotten my double stack with Kyler. Good looking out. What I got going on over here? Yep, totally planned that. Totally planned this. Damn. 1 second too late. Should have taken McMillan. Ended up with Caleb. Oh well. Not a pro after all. Swift is actually a good value here, though. Might need him. Might need him. Not a great value. Decent pick, though. Fits with the team. Charbonnet, Etienne, Stead. Pittman could work here. I'm going to take Swift. Since I went ahead and went with Caleb on purpose. Definitely was not auto draft. I mean, that's one way to look at it, Harmon. Cracking me up. Oh, whoops. Don't worry, I'm going to backstack him with no one. It's really hard to backstack Caleb. There's not a lot of good options. Did they replace Cole Kmet outright? Maybe. Cam Scatabo. Got something for that. Little... Bang. McMillan going at 115. T-Mac, a Cowboy? Yeah. Why not? Why not? Go ahead and grab Jaden Higgins there and then figure it out. Yeah, that makes sense too. Yeah, Warren there would be sick. I know what you're doing. Yeah, weave that story. You're gonna make me draft Swift in both of these? Kind of like took a crap just because the value where I'm getting him. Yeah. Told you I'd get confused at some point. Glad I didn't do that. I will take Swift there. Hate me all you want. I'm going to have the most Swift of anyone, it appears. Shooting at 129 goes well with this room. Too bad I can't take Stroud here. Yeah, for sure. God. I don't know how it happened. Apparently. If it wasn't for me, Swift ADP would be 140. I'm the one keeping him where he is. Shout out to Best Ball Overlay for hooking me up, not letting me miss out on my stacks. Although, like I said earlier, is Goddard even going to be there? Who knows? He might not even be there. So let's push him. And QJ. And this is a team where I would end up with some late tight ends to go with these QBs anyways. Yep. Gotta get that Trevor Lawrence in. Michael Penix with your... Okay. Figuring it out. You just want to get left behind at QB. Got sniped on the Chiefs. There's plenty of ways to back that Penix. There's about one or two ways actually, but make it work. Yeah, Dak and then Loveland. Pretty nice. Right where he goes. I need to get a little bit more Loveland. $100%. 100%. There's a chance Goddard comes back to me in this one. There's a somewhat chance. Do a quick check. I've already got 3 quarterbacks. I'm done. Wide receivers are strong. Running backs are fine. Saw the blue. Got scared. Benson could be nice for this team. Kincaid faller. I don't think I've taken Naked Kincaid yet. Two, 3, 5, 1 build. Let me grab Kincaid. I mean, last year you would have loved to have gotten Trey McBride and Dalton Kincaid in the same team. You probably could because Trey McBride wasn't so expensive, but Kincaid has always been expensive. So I'll mix them in. I don't know if Sloan had Laporta, so he might not have been interested. But then look, he takes Jake Ferguson with his next pick, so I kind of feel good about that then. And he goes Stafford. That's going to allow me to grab Trey Benson anyways, who I'm pretty sure is what I want. On the clock over here. Goddard comes back. Let's do it. It all works out. On this team, I've got 3, 4, 5, 1 build. Time to get back after some of these wideout running backs. Honestly, in good shape, even with a little bit of mishap. Grabbing Caleb maybe where it didn't need to, but could shake out nicely. 160, 177. Come back for Auden. And then Komet, if not. And in the meantime, is this a Javante team? Could be. $160, $177. I don't really like Javante that much. I'm gonna go Harvey there. That's the kind of team I want to get Harvey on. Plenty of veterans. Bring in RJ Harvey. Maybe he's the next Devin A. Chain. Who knows? Back with y'all. What are y'all up to? A little bit of a break there. I go Kincaid. Benson, arm covers, grabs QJ and Likely. Hartman gets Sampson and RJ Harvey. Yep. Harvey Bulls. We got so the A-Rob team who slipped up and grabbed Ben Sinnott with pick 67. Whoops. Has been drafting actually very solid since then. So he's not trying to throw away $10. This draft is, there's no way this draft gets thrown out for that misclick. Be confident, boys. Trey Harris at 136. I'm getting hyped up on Trey Harris. It's the Leggett. Pat continues to draft bad players on bad teams. Players from shitty teams, to quote him correctly. But it works out. He gets Bryce Young. Didn't want to jinx it, but that's what I thought you were going to do. Travi always got big plans with his naked Pinnock. Only on the late night streams. Unless you're watching Typhel Tower earlier, you might have got a lot of that. But typically this channel is not so vulgar. Love those guys. Galaxy Brain Pat, of course, biggest brain in the business. "12 spot takes Stroud, even though he has Allen Lamar." Yeah, I'm getting confused on my drafts too, but Daddy, I have no idea. But you're talking about the other board. No, this board. There's Stroud and Allen Lamar. Yeah. He's badgeless. He's got a really interesting draft going along. I'm on the clock. 2452. $67 and $70. Do I take Dallas Goedert at pick 67? Come on. I mean, maybe he gets traded. Maybe he's not on the team. Maybe you guys are afraid of that. I'll take it just because. Even if he lands somewhere else, I think he's a good value. Done at tight end. Done at QB, probably. Time to hammer some running back, wide receivers. So I have my choice of Cade Otton or Cole Kmet. 177, 184. Only because he might still be there, and then I need to stack up Caleb more than not. I've already got Godwin. Algier at 170 feels pretty good. I considered for a second taking Rashad White or Javonte. Of course they go. Martinez, classic pick. You guys are big fans of Martinez. Yeah, he did. We saw that. Yeah, totally. Bad players in the way. Is the way. I thought you were referring to the guy in the 12 spot. Yeah, bad players. Britton Strange. Pat, I love the Britton Strange pick. I've been drafting Britton Strange, but I was just happened to be listening to the Establish the Run draft props podcast earlier today, and for some reason Evan Silva was talking about the possibility of the Jaguars taking Tyler Warren at pick 5. That's something he saw as like a long shot, but like a decent shot of happening. I was kind of surprised at that. But who knows? Let me grab Besh there. What pick was that? Was 180, 184. Seems right. Got Besh. Yeah, Pitts and Cam Ward backstack with Kyle Williams would have been fun. I think, I don't know if it was you, Travioli, a few nights ago, or I know one of the boys in the chat, one of the guys out here was telling me and kind of, we were talking about that Cam Ward, Kyle Williams stack. I think it was you, actually. That's all right. Yeah, getting some steam. I would agree with that. Because that's what ended up happening in this one. Hamet went me, and then Otten was not there. Otten goes. This running back room feels decent. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wide receivers are strong. 1, 2, 3, 4. But I need more wideouts. Pretty good on tight end. More wideouts. I don't know. On the clock, and 2-5-5-3. It's time for running backs and wide receivers. So Shipley here. If you go Michael Wilson next, this is pick 191 and 194. Let me do a little bit of Shipley. Anytime you're slightly fading Saquon and taking Justin Jefferson ahead of him, doesn't hurt to take some Shipley. Next pick's 201 and 208. I'm back on the clock. For pick 194, I'm going to push Michael Wilson. I need a receiver, though. I think I'm going to take AD. Yeah. I've got a ton of Michael Wilson stacked up with Kyler Murray teams. I've already got a double stack. I think AD has more upside than Michael Wilson does, and just better ADP value in general, yada yada. This one, I kind of want to go late 10. I could also go Shipley. 3562. I kind of want to go Shipley on this one. Also, pick 201 because then my running back room is really close to done. 3773 build. Most likely might take a rookie tight end. If Harold Fannon's there, I could grab him over Slayton. What are y'all up to? Let me go back to this room, show y'all the board. Our recent picks. RM covers went with Dowdle, Braylon Allen, Dammy Brown, who is apparently the wide receiver 2 on the team. Newsflash. Wan'Dale Robinson. Hartman goes Pierce. Always a fun click. Harold Fannin, nice. Pat has been pounding the tight ends. Late tight ends, he keeps drafting bad players. Zach Ertz, Ja'Vion Sanders, those guys. Come on, old man Zach Ertz, Ja'Vion Sanders. I mean, okay, I can't even joke for that long. I actually do like both of those picks. Even with Zach Ertz being on the older end of his career, always fun to have a piece of that Commanders high-powered offense. And then Ja'Vion Sanders, hook 'em horns, baby, one of my guys. I had too much Ja'Vion Sanders last year. I also had too much Brock Bowers. One of them worked out, one of them didn't. Mike Williams goes, draft a guy whose name you recognize. The guy in the 12 spot's doing interesting things. I'm on the clock. Harold Fannin Jr. seems like the click for this 3773 build that I'm working on. Then I'll grab a running back and a wide receiver soon enough. Catch up with y'all. So, okay, I was talking about tight ends. We were talking about tight ends. That'd be great for T-Law. I think so, too. Tyler Warner would be sick for him. Jags have so many needs. It'd be wild if they went with it. Yeah, never know. Sometimes you draft the best available player and you figure out how to make it work and those kind of things is kind of what they were talking about on the pod earlier. Love a naked Penix. You heard it here first, Travioli. Hartman says sorry. Arm cover says sorry. Figured I'd box out the 12 spot. Why not? Laugh my ass off. No idea what we're saying sorry about. I'm sorry I missed it. That was like 5 minutes ago. Must have been some snipe or something. Pat managed to build a great team with almost all players I hate. Truly incredible work. Yep. I think I'm caught up. That's the bit. That's the bit we're doing on this draft. Just whatever player Pat takes, call it a bad player. And then we're gonna go. We're gonna do some team reviews. This draft, the first one I got into, is gonna wrap up pretty quick. Then we'll jump in and check out y'all's other teams and see what's going on. I've kind of been following along, but like just like Putt Daddy, I am lost. I think this team's working. Are we cooking? Are we gonna land the plane? Like, I've drafted half of the same players on both teams, if you didn't notice. Both teams have Hurts. I think Goddard, Shipley, Swift. Oh, I remember this team now. I'm on the clock. It is a 2-6-6-3 build. I need wide receivers. It's Michael Wilson time. Yeah. I think it could be. Back on the clock. I think since I'm going 2 QB, I'm just going to grab Horton. And then I'll see which running backs are there with my last pick. Yeah, Michael Wilson, Horton. Let's see what we got. Two 6-8-3 build. Running back feels good. Need an upside swing rookie running back. That's how I'm going to finish it out. Probably take a 7th because wideouts are pretty strong. Could stop at 8. Decently strong. I don't know if one more wide receiver would make a difference on this team, make it any better. Tight ends are jacked up. Those are some nice tight ends. Let's go to the board. And one pick away in the other draft. We've caught up. This draft that y'all are in is flying along. Joe Flacco goes. Joe Flacco. Maybe he starts. Seriously doubt it, though. 2 picks left. 225, 232. I might just go Slayton. Let me go Slayton, and then I think what I'm going to do is actually go wide receivers with each of these last 2 picks and go with the 3-6-8-3. I feel pretty good with the running backs where they're at. Consider an Etienne or a James. But with Harvey and Tootin, I'm good on the rookie upside. I mean, I've got 4 really strong wide receivers and then 3 that are just fine. So I could still take a running back. I think Parker Washington would be a fun click. Okay. I think that's going to cover it for this one. I'm back on the clock. I am going to go with Parker Washington. Get some exposure up. Year 3 breakout. Here we go. Boom. They said it couldn't be done. Double tabled. Only one slight hiccup. Autoed Caleb Williams at a value, but would have liked to get Jalen McMillan there. And then I would have skipped on DeAndre Swift. And maybe grab Stroud over Quentin Johnson. But overall, it's a good team. Pretty fun. These fit refreshes. I was afraid of the Woof Air, honestly. So I wasn't refreshing in that draft. Appreciate you drafting with us tonight, Pat. Always welcome. And appreciate the support. Catch you real soon. Have a great night, my man. See ya in another draft. GG's. Travioli. Ooh, with the Pat Bryant pick. Love it. I love it. Love to see it mixed up. Get different. That's a fun one. Sean Tucker, too. Did you go 4 tight end in this build? Crazy. We're going to have to review these teams. Pat goes 4 tight end. What year is it? Is it 2023 all over again? It's only truly crazy to go 4 tight ends when we're in our 18 rounds. That's when you're a madman if you pull that off. Etienne, Blue, Hunter. Is there a wide receiver I need? Probably not. Two, 7, 8, 3. I don't want to get, I don't want to be overexposed to Blue. I'll get some ETN. that wraps it up. Let me let my dog out real quick. She's back in here. Then we'll come back, review these teams in this draft in 30 seconds. Yo. Appreciate y'all being here. Draft will be tonight. I just literally let my dog out in the backyard, so she's going to want to come back in any second. Let's do some team reviews. Again, shout out to Pat, the Fantasy Dog Pound. Always fun having you in the draft, my man. And all of you already know, you're already following him, you're already subscribed to him. But for the slight chance that you're not, hit up his YouTube channel, the best in the biz. Good draft, everyone. Yeah, appreciate y'all being here. That's a fun one. It was wild. Yeah, it's been a while. It's honestly been a while since I've double tabled, not from my phone. During, less so much. So I was on paternity leave for like the last 4 weeks, leading up until this week. Went back to work this week, and all of that to say, as I was wrapping up my Albatross and Scramble Returns PGA drafts, I had more free time, so I was drafting them more as singles. But last year in 2024, when I was doing them, I would do triple, quadruple table on my phone Albatross drafts. Not as much stacking involved, just more player takes in general, but you got to know your ball. All right, the dog wants back in. This will load up. I'm going to go grab her, and then we'll jump into the team reviews in 15 seconds. Be right back. Enjoy this Cam Skattebo clip while I let the dog in. Bye. Perfect timing. And let's get after it. Let's do these team reviews. Shout out to the chat for joining this one, pushing me into doing a third big board draft tonight. You guys are the goats. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Turn on notifications if that's your thing. If you want to know when I'm going live, so you can jump into these drafts and get on the action. Hot best ball summer around the corner. I'm pretty pumped for it, if you can't already tell. Got my UD hat on and drafting most nights of the week. I'm going to be aiming for about 4 nights streaming a week. Scheduled to be determined exactly, but y'all know where to find me. It's late night, and we're out here in these streets. Y'all have seen my team. I'll do a quick review of mine, then we jump into yours. 2783 build, Jalen Hurts, Kyler Murray. Both of them double stacked. Quinshawn Harris, DeAndre Swift, Trey Benson, Algier, Shipley, Etienne. So I've got 2 running backs on the same teams as my QBs. Couple rookies for upside. Okay, the dog wants back in. She's in and out crazy. Last time I'm gonna let her in the office. Be right back. 5 seconds. Okay. All right. Sorry about that one. Wide receivers. Justin Jefferson didn't go the route of McCarthy in that stack. Instead, went for the kind of more elite upper end rushing QBs with Kyler and Hurts. So I've got them stacked up with Smith and Harrison. Also I've got a triple stack for Kyler with Michael Wilson later on, and then I've got McBride. Mooney's in here, Higgins, Mitchell, Horton, Higgins and Horton, some upside guys. McBride, Kincaid falling a little bit, and then Goddard falling a little bit. Maybe Goddard's not an Eagle. At least I've got Smith. So, I mean, I like this team. This is a pretty fun one. I needed more Eagles exposure. You can clearly see. Who should we look at next? I mean, you're all in here. Let's just go down the list. Let's go to RM Covers. Appreciate you being here tonight, my man. Fun draft. Let's check this team out. I did not honestly notice that you had Love and McCarthy until this point, but I do remember you taking Bijan and then Addison and T. And we'll see. I think you might have grabbed some Packers, obviously. Jordan Love, McCarthy, Bijan, Connor, Mason. You went Mason early. There you go. Dowdle, Braylon Allen, Jordan James. That's a good looking RB room. Got your upside rookie. The T, the DJ Moore, the Odunze. You got sniped on Caleb Williams. Big bummer. And then Addison stacked up. Jaden Reed, yep, you got him. Quentin Johnston. Diami Brown, wide receiver 2 in Jacksonville, maybe. Wandale. And then Thornton, the sprinter. I knew it. Yeah, you did have Tucker Kraft. I remember you drafting him. And then Likely and Mason Taylor. Tucker Kraft could be the next elite tight end. Could be. Wide receiver room, I think it's strong. You've got, even though you started off with Bijan, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in your first 75 picks. That's real strong. And then your running back room looks good too. It's a nice squad. I don't think it's too thin at QB. I think 2 for these 2 guys is fine. And it's good upside. Shout out to Hartman, his 150th big board. I think you're talking about both mine and RM Covers teams. Both of them stacked up looking good. Yeah, appreciate you being here, man. We'll do another draft real soon. Jared Goff is a 3-6-8-3 build from the main man Hartman. Jared Goff, Dak Prescott, Jalen Milroe. I like that. I like this room. Yeah, Jalen Milroe. How could he outscore Goff or Dak? Yeah, the rushing upside and give you a little bit more ceiling play. Gibbs stacked up. We already know you got JMO. Got the Josh Jacobs anchoring you down. And then you got the upside. So once you have these 2 anchors, these kind of 2 stud running backs, swing for the fences. Sampson, Harvey, Martinez, Keaton, Missile. Love it. This is fun. I'm pretty sure you've got 20% Keaton Missile? No, I'd be surprised, but probably at least 10%, no doubt. Lad, you got JMO stacked up, T-Mac, Ricky Pearsall, Hunter, Noel, Pierce, Restrepo. Still a believer in Restrepo. I think it's good. Your wide receiver room is stacked. You got 5 wideouts in your first 76 picks. Then you take a little break, come back, hit it late. I like that. Oh, love the tight end room. Andrews, Loveland, Fannin. Tons of upside with these two. Mark Andrews, he's not going anywhere. He's going to be a Raven. Come on. That's what I think, at least. But, maybe he goes to the Chargers. That'd be pretty dope. Good looking squad. Hey, what up, Meg? Appreciate you popping in. Always nice to see you in the chat. And hope you're having a great week. Caught some of your stream earlier and this week. So I hope you're doing great. And always appreciate you saying hi. Always fun to catch up. I'm still waiting for my book. But no, I'm excited to get my coffee table fantasy football book from y'all. Real excited. 24% Keaton Mitchell. Wow, even higher than I thought. I undersold it. I said 20%. And then 34 Harvey. That's crazy. Yeah, get your guys. One last time, of course. Yeah, stacking is some luck, some skill, right? Good looking squad. Yeah, Meg, we just wrapped this one up. The boys made me double table the big board. So I had to draft this one alone in a room with no one else because it's not filled. And then we had a bunch of bros, a bunch of people out here in this one drafting with me. All right, who's next? I think we've got, Pat's team next, and then Travioli. Let's get into it. Make sure you're all subscribed to the channel. I got a subscriber goal. If you haven't heard, I'm trying to get 100 subscribers before BBM drops. Got 1 week to go. Really close. We're almost there, but I need your help. And the goal is I'm going to do a 4-hour mega stream draftathon. We're going to draft 4, 5, 6 Best Ball Mania teams, one after another. It's going to be a good time. Hope to see y'all there next week. Probably about this time. Well, about 1 week from now, maybe 8 days. Yeah. Yep. Oh, Lawsmo, you're still in here. What up, buddy? Appreciate you. Yeah. DMH09, nice team. Yeah, that's Hartman. Yep. You probably already know that. Let's hit his team hard. We were the whole bit we were giving Pat was that he was drafting the worst players. So let's just really stick it to him. Justin Fields. I mean, the guy can't hold down a job. Trevor Lawrence, the biggest bust of a prospect there's ever been to ever win a national championship and then go to the 101. Bryce Young, I spoke too soon. Literally the worst 101 ever drafted. I can't do it without laughing. It's too hard to be mean. No, but I think when those three to come together, for real though, the rushing upside with Fields, the pocket presence in Lawrence with the new weapons he's got, new Liam Cohen regime, and then Bryce Young getting better year after year. That's a good 3 QB build. You're not spending too much draft capital at QB, but you can get a lot of results out of that room. Hampton, Caleb Johnson. I mean, I need any running back room with Hampton is going to look good. He does grab Aaron Jones. He's got Scatabo, Justice Hill, and Sean Tucker. Hill and Tucker, not names that I would have expected, but mixing it up. He got, the one thing I will say, he got his rookies early and his veterans late. So that's a good mix. Stacked up BTJ, Drake London, Garrett Wilson, DK Metcalf, Calvin Ridley. I mean, man, that's a strong wideout group. He's got 5 through his first 64 picks and still had a good running back room. But that's what happens. That's got to bounce it out. The QBs are a little bit behind, but don't hate it. And then Trey Harris is fun. Stops at Leggett. So then that's interesting. Yeah, the 7 wide receivers, the 4 tight ends, very interesting build. Very interesting. Strange stacked up, Sanders stacked up. You got Ertz, and then the Chig Okonkwo. I honestly love it. Let's get that goal. Yeah, appreciate it. Appreciate all the support, all the shouts out from this FanSpeak network and from y'all. Always a good time over there as well. I know everyone in the chat, you're all in the streets. I know you're already sub to the Fanspeak network. I don't have to tell you twice, but if you aren't, check them out. Great content all the time, and some fun shows throughout the week. Loving the wide receiver room that Pat put together. I do too. I guess that's why he stopped at 7. It was so strong just to get the upside of Trey Harris and then the stack with Leggett. I'm curious why he grabbed Chig in this room. We'll have to bookmark it and bring it up with him next time. Maybe he's listening. I know he said goodnight already in the chat. I think, just with hindsight 2020, I would have thrown Chig into one more running back, or even just, I don't know who else you would stack. It is hard when you have Fields. If you don't have Garrett Wilson, there's no receiver options. I mean, he does have Garrett Wilson in this one, so like he's got the stack. But like past that, like what who would you stack late on with Garrett Wilson? There's not really any good options. Let's get into Travioli. And he got sniped on Patrick Mahomes, so you hate to see it. But how did the team turn out? He was kind of bummed about it, but let's look at this. Brock Purdy, Michael Penix, Geno Smith. Overall, for a 3 QB room, I like this. Yeah, pocket passers, but you only need one of them to have a career year. Malachi Corley or Lazard? LOL. Yeah. Better off just not taking one of those guys, honestly. Yeah. Appreciate you being here, Meg. Always good to have you in the chat. Genty, Kamara, Spears, Dobbins, Wright. Strong. It's the right amount. It's only 5, but if Genty hits, if Kamara is good as ever, I think that works. The 9 wide receivers. So you waited to get, you got Worthy and Rice. You didn't get Mahomes, which sucks. For you, just sucks to miss out on that. Olave, Burden, Ayuk. Yeah, I mean, even with Worthy being your first wide receiver, it's a good looking wide receiver room. Royals for upside. Tutu, why not? Savion. Some people like him. Pat Bryant. I think it's a fun pick. I've drafted a little bit of Pat Bryant. Not actually, because you can see my exposure. It's not actually in this tournament, but in Fast Draft Origins tournament. Brocky Bowers and Tyler Warren and Schultz. So yeah, Bowers was one of your early picks, and you got him stacked up, so that's nice. You've got the Ayuk stack, saves it a little bit, and the naked Penix. Good stuff. Yeah. Pat's got an interesting team with that one. We had a good time in here drafting. I think that's everyone. I think we covered them. One last thing I'll do before I sign off. I'm going to quickly check. I'm going to pop into the Fast Draft app and just see what's going on over there. If there's any chance that we can get one of these new Fast Draft Origins drafts to queue up, then maybe I'll throw that on the stream real quick, or a Flex 4 draft. I'm having a lot of fun in Fast Draft. If I know y'all have heard maybe around a little bit about it, but super clean interface, really fast drafts, as the name implies, and I like what they're doing. There's smaller tournaments right now, but I think it's a good way to mix it up. And if you know your rookies, the Origins draft is super fun. I'm popping in there right now. I'll pull it up on my phone on the stream if it feels like it's going to fill. They just dropped the second Origins tournament. Okay, 1 to fill. So if you guys have got Fast Draft, go ahead and jump in to the new Origins Chaos. I'm going to quickly load it up on stream on my phone. It's 1 to fill, though, and it doesn't always fill that fast. So you might be able to get in. little special treat. I've been waiting to do this for a while. I've been really excited to do this on stream. So let me load up my phone real quick. I'm just going to take down this that I'm sharing in case something pops up we don't want to see on stream. Let me queue up. Let me get some music going for y'all, and then I think we're gonna get this draft filled, this fast draft. It's gonna be nice. It'll be the first one we've done on stream so far. Still one to fill. Fast Draft Origins. If you haven't already downloaded the app and joined, you can use code Garage, get $50 deposit match. I mean, $100 in Fast Draft goes a long way. There's $5 entry tournaments like the Origins. There's a $5 other tournament called the Flex 4, which is more of your standard draft flex positions. If you haven't already heard, the Origins draft, it's rookie only, season-long total point scoring, and full point PPR. I just got to open something real quick. Still one more to fill, but I have a good feeling that it's going to fill. And the drafts go super, super quick. I mean, as the name implies, fast draft. Like the drafts take less than 10 minutes. So we'll get a quick one in. The last draft of the night is going to be a fast draft. I can feel it. I'm just working on getting the right app open. Where is it? Yeah. 1 sec. Okay. I haven't done this in a minute, so I'm just getting it refigured out. Oh. Okay, I think it's going to work. Let me pull this over here. Still one more to fill. Hold over here. Okay. Let me see what this looks like on y'all's end. Thanks for sticking around as I kind of troubleshot getting this set up. It took me a second because I've been really interested to get this pulled up. Let's see how this one looks first. I got to get rid of the overlay. Hide that. Boom. Change the background. Hey. Oh, it filled. Okay, let me share the screen. It filled. If one of y'all are in here, I'm super psyched. Okay. Window. Boom. We're in here. Hey. The 2 spot. Ooh, that's too small. That's better. This will play. As we're working out the kinks. Okay, Genty goes. I'm going to go ahead and take Cam Ward there. So Fast Draft, Origins. This is their second Origins contest. It's called Chaos. It's going to be open all the way through the NFL draft and while the NFL draft is live. It's rookies only. It's all flex positions. So a Cam Ward could start in the same position that you would have Genty or Hampton in. There's no QB slot. There's no running back slot. It's 60 picks, 10 teams, 6 rounds. drafting all rookies. So if you know your rookies, if you know your stuff, if you think you can name 60 rookies, this is the tournament for you. I'm excited about it. I've done, I don't know, a dozen so far. The original Origins tournament closed yesterday or the day before. They just came out with this new Chaos one. It's going to be open up through the draft. If you haven't downloaded Fast Draft yet and you want to get on the action, feel free to use code GARAGE up to a $50 deposit match. And get out here and start drafting. This is a $5 tournament. I think there's $1,000 up top, and I think it's a 5,000 total pool. So it's a smaller tournament. This is, these things, they're going to keep coming out with more and more tournaments as they fill. And so they're kind of time boxed. If you think about like how some of the other tournaments we draft are, these are smaller ones. Full PPR, total scoring weeks 1 to 17. I think I've said enough, but yeah, I'm excited about it. I've noticed Jackson Dart used to be a second round pick, mid to early second round. He's now going in the first round. That's something different. There's also a third round reversal, which is pretty sick. So that's fun because if you end up getting to the back of the draft in 9 or 10 spot, you get a little bit more draft capital with that third round reversal. I started off with Cam Ward. I don't think I got a single share of Cam Ward in the original Origins tournament, so I'm psyched to get him here in this one. My strategies for this, it's full PPR. So what that means to me is draft the workhorse running backs. Those are the most valuable players. You would think, oh, actually wide receivers have an increased value because they're catching passes. No, the guys that are going to separate, it's going to be those workhorse running backs. The Hamptons, the Genties, the Hendersons, Judkins to an extent. But I also think it means draft a lot of running backs. And early and often, late running backs. It means pretty much avoid tight ends to an extent because there's no premium for tight ends and you're not filling a tight end spot. So like, why would you I understand Tyler Warren and Colston Loveland are good prospects, but my personal opinion is I fade them. I think people are drafting them as if there's a tight end designated spot, or they're drafting them as if this is like a dynasty league where tight ends are more important. Come on. I know Brock Bowers did what he did last season, but you're telling me that a rookie tight end on average is going to outscore a wide receiver who's going to get drafted in the first round, like a Matthew Golden, or even a running back like last year, like a Bucky Irving, who goes in the third round and is like a late pick. But like, how if Scatabo is getting touches, how is Colston Loveland going to outscore him, even in full point PPR? So I'm fading tight ends. I'm leaning into QBs at the right value, drafting a ton of running backs. My favorite teams have like 4, 5, 6 running backs. So I'm going to go ahead and take Tootin there. His ADP is actually much lower than but I like him ranked, they're just fine. When I compare this to like where players going underdog, I think it's getting there pretty quick. And definitely want to get an upside running back on this squad. Hartman says, would you take Ward over Genty? I haven't been. I have been taking Genty. And actually, when this tournament first opened at the beginning of, not when it first opened, when I first started entering it at the beginning of last month, in early March, I was going Genty and then Hampton and then Ward. But I think to get any exposure to Ward, you got to take him at 2. Some people are going Hampton over him, though. So I want to kind of play the ADP the right way in the early rounds. But then, and as soon as I get to these mid rounds, I'm fading certain players. So I'm going to go Martinez there. And then my next pick, either Kyle Williams or Brashard Smith for me, based on my rankings. I think I'm going to go Rashard Smith. Whoops, there we go. Yeah, it's on my phone, so flipping it around. I went Rashard Smith. I think there's some chance that okay, spoke too soon. I thought there was a small chance Kyle Williams would come back around. Kyle Williams ADP is like in the 40s. But yeah, Ward over Genty, not necessarily, but to even out your exposure maybe. But at the same time, it's like, I don't want to miss out on a chance to get as much Genty as possible. Another thing in this tournament, if I haven't already said it, there are modifiers, which is a really interesting aspect of this. I'll show you at the end of the draft. There's a ×2, a times 1.75, a times 1.5, a times 1.25. So your top 4 players, and you can choose which players get the modifiers. Your top 4 players get modifiers throughout the season for their scoring. So you can put a ×2 modifier on Genty, or the ×2 modifier if you drafted Cam Ward. Typically you'd want to line them up with your draft capital and your picks, but to get different and to beat everyone else in this tournament, maybe it's okay, something that not everyone else knows, and you want to put a ×1.5 modifier on one of your last picks instead of on your 4th or your 3rd pick. I think Jaden Blue could be the key in this tournament. He's a great pass catcher. Full point PPR. I also like Marcus Yarns in this format out of Delaware. He is, I think, the 3rd best rated pass catching back in this class. And I just can't quote off the top of my head. I don't know if that's PFF or what, but he's a really elite pass catcher. Not a player I know a ton about. I've obviously never seen him play ball because he went to Delaware. But look how thin it gets in these 60 picks of rookies only. You've got Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt going. You have a Luke Lackley going. Quinn Ewers is going. The problem is if Quinn Ewers doesn't start, yeah, it's best ball, and you're starting 4 players a week out of your 6-player roster, all flex positions. If Quinn is not starting, he's a dead roster spot. He's a 0. At least with the running backs, I mean, you're an injury away, or they could even just take over and win that position. So I'm going Cam Ward and then all running backs is how I like to do it. I just think it's also a little bit thinner of a bet at the wide receiver because they might not get on the field. They might not be good enough to get, to command targets. And if they're just returning punts, it doesn't do any good. Yeah, Brashard's a good pick in full PPR. I agree. I've got a lot of Brashard in these tournaments. Yeah, definitely check it out, and it'll be fun. We got to get more of our best ball community into these drafts. Help them fill faster. This tournament, Origins is the Chaos. Origins Chaos is the new tournament out. It just dropped today, and it's going to be open throughout the NFL draft. So it's like, obviously Cam Ward's a Titan. If we see that Tootin, a little bit of Tootin, goes to the Saints or goes to the Bengals, who knows? Does his value skyrocket? And we're live in the draft him in real time as the picks are called. It's going to be a really fun time. So this is what it looks like after you draft. The total draft time was 9 minutes. It's that fast. I mean, it's easy to do a bunch of these. Another reason I like this app a lot. Pick time for me, I'm second to last, but I'm streaming, so I was trying to coordinate it all. They give you the best value versus ADP, but to me it's not that exciting. I mean, to get Terrence Ferguson, who's a tight end, I wouldn't draft a tight end in this format necessarily. I mean, some guys, if they fall to me, or have them ranked, but I'm fading most of them. Shows you my ADP value, fastest overall drafter, and the slowest drafter. But the cool part, let me do is edit boosters. Let me show you all this. we get into the edit boosters. And so right now I've got Cam Ward at my ×2, and I've got Tootin at my 1.75, etc., etc. Your last 2 picks don't get a modifier. They stay even at 1 times their points. So if I said, I know something no one else knows, Marcus Yarns is going pretty much undrafted. And, do I think he's actually going to hit and be somebody in his first year? Maybe I throw him up to a 1.5 or a 1.25 modifier. In that way, my team gets different from the field. So not only drafting teams with some strategy around how you're drafting, composing these teams, but what are the odds that someone's going to dupe this team? I mean, not a huge amount considering there's not a ton of people entering these tournaments. So it's not a gigantic tournament. So you don't have to worry so much about being duped. But if you're drafting straight off ADP, I would definitely be worried about being duped. I feel comfortable that this team is unique enough that I might not have to switch up my modifiers just to differentiate. Although if I did, I could see throwing Smith into the 1.5 and maybe Martinez into the 1, and then either Blue or Yarns into the 1.25 just to get a little bit different. I don't know. I'm not going to change it right now. I'm going to leave it how it is. I think it's fine. And you can always come back to this later. So like if I draft 10 of these teams in the next week and then some of them look somewhat similar, that's where I can get different in my own portfolio. That's kind of how it works there. Sweet. I'm going to go ahead and check the lobby. Boom. So I'm back here. And let's just see what the lobby looks like for one more Origins draft. Six slots to fill. Typically, if it's within 3, I will wait around and try to get in. At 6, at this time of night, probably not. I'm hopeful that real soon we'll have a bunch of us in the best ball community in here drafting more frequently on this one, and it'll be easier to fill. We're real close. So that's what we were just looking at, was the Origins Chaos. It's a $5 entry. The $10 entry Origins is already full. And then there's this Flex 4 tournament right here, which, if you look at my rankings, is more familiar to what we were doing here on Underdog. And it's your standard best ball tournament. There's no QBs, only drafting flex positions. Same thing, full point PPR, weeks 1 to 17, total scoring. This is a bigger tournament, so there's currently 1,800 entrants. There's $50,000 total prizes. Max entrance is 10,000, right? So it's rake free, 100% payout rate. It's only 18% filled. Let's see if we can get one more draft in. Yeah, waiting on 7. But those are my ranks. You can sit here and you can adjust your ranks when you're waiting for these drafts to fill. I like to mess with my rankings a lot. Super cool interface. And yeah. You can change the modifiers post NFL draft. So for the original Origins tournament, this one that closed right here, you can change them up until the draft. For the Chaos tournament, it's going to be open. I don't think it'll fill before the draft. I think it's going to be open during the draft and throughout the draft. And it probably says on here September 4th. Okay, so I'm pretty sure you can change your modifiers all the way up till September 4th. I think on this one, though, the modifiers get set April 24th, right? Or no, look, booster lock, September 4th. Honestly, I'm not 100% sure. You might be able to adjust your boosters, your modifiers after the draft. I'd have to double check the fine print, but that's interesting to get into to know. And then turbo mode, I'll show you that. So Turbo mode is how you batch enter. I'll click on it just to show you. Let me go ahead and go wide. Maybe that's better. We'll see if it's better or not. For turbo mode, cool. You have your ranking set, and then use a slider to you can batch enter. So let me actually switch it this way, just so it's easier on for my phone to control it. So like I'm saying, I'm going to enter 15 of these, or 3 or 4 or 5 of these, and then it's going to fill me into the next number of those draft rooms. And then it'll draft off your rankings. It'll auto for you, or if you're there, like when the tournament fills, it'll give you an alert to your phone. You can jump back in and draft. So it's kind of like a way to be queued up into multiple drafts, which can be really helpful if the drafts aren't filling super quick. I think I did an all right job of explaining that. I haven't actually done any turbo mode yet myself, but I've seen it done. So yeah, man. Feel free to use code GARAGE for the $50 match. And I'm excited to do some of these on stream. One of my favorite things to do to make sure that these drafts fill, like a little pro tip, instead of waiting on 5 or 6 or 7, like I said, check in every once in a while. If it's 2 or 3, typically I'll stay in the room. It only takes about, anywhere from 5 to 15 minutes to fill after that, depending on the time of day. But I just sit there and I adjust my rankings while I'm waiting for it to fill. And then the other fun thing is, the other pro tip, there are certain streamers and content creators who will go live. One of my favorite is Dynastyland Football. It's Zach and Badaki, and they do a lot of Dynasty content and rookie mock drafts and rookie Dynasty drafts live on stream. But they love rookies, and so they've been doing a lot of these fast draft Origins drafts on their stream, and they usually have about 200 people watching live, give or take. And so they're able to fill these rooms really fast. And so I was drafting with them earlier today. I did one draft with them. I think I was in the 2 spot. Last night I did 2 drafts with them during their stream. I got a pick in the 1 spot where I had a Genty team, and then I had a pick in like the 10 spot. So I've been drafting with their stream. It's been really fun, and they're super into it. Like, they're big time Dynasty guys. They love the rookie talk. They're very sharp guys. They've been in the content game, I think, about 4 years now, at least. And so check them out as well. Dynastyland Football, some good guys. So yeah, the goal is we all eventually start filling up these rooms, drafting together a little bit in Fast Draft. It's gonna be super fun. Just one more app to use. A couple more tournaments are open. There's some smaller tournaments now, but for the sharp drafters, I think there's definitely an early edge. And I've noticed, especially in Fast Draft, that it's a little bit more Dynasty brained. Like, how can you, if I sat down with the team that had just drafted, let me see if I can get back to it. I'm not exactly sure on my turbo mode if I can. I think I messed it up with my phone. I'm gonna have to. Here, let me do something real quick. Let me do that. Let me do this, and then let me do that. Boom. Okay, so we're back. So let me go to that draft. My completed. My teams. Okay. So this is the one I drafted earlier today with the Dynastyland guys. See, there's Badaki in the 2 spot, a bunch of their regulars in this draft room. I had the 3 spot. I got Hampton. I went Noel, Besh, Smith, like I said, I like Smith in this format. I got Yarns, and then I don't know. I threw out Donovan Edwards. Kind of regret that pick, but I was like, I had my hands full. I was drafting on my phone. I was cooking dinner and doing some other stuff. But like, here's the thing: how can you justify taking Terrence Ferguson? No offense to Badaki, or Aronde Gadsden. I understand that it's full point PPR, but like, for those of us who have been drafting best ball for a while, like, the odds of a rookie tight end hitting and being productive for fantasy year one are extremely thin. Why not take another swing at a running back if it's at all a flex position? I can see why you would draft Will Howard. I don't really get Kyle McCord. Tyler Shuck, I understand drafting, because if those guys start even a handful of games, I mean, the floor scoring for a quarterback, what, 10 to 14 points? That's like the ceiling for a tight end, even in full PPR. So yeah, just a little bit about Fast Draft. And I'm really liking it. I'm really liking it so far. I know it's probably small on my screen. I can go this way, get it bigger for y'all. But yeah, super cool interface. I like the design, the colors, and getting to draft all rookies is pretty fun. It's definitely getting me ready for my dynasty rookie drafts coming up. Just getting familiar with ADP, where people are taking players. Yeah, this is best ball. It's season long. It's not actually a dynasty, but there's a lot of dynasty brain in these drafts. And so, like, look at this. You see Colston Loveland going ahead of Tyler Warren. You probably wouldn't see that on Underdog. You might see that in your dynasty leagues. But then here, in Fast Draft, that's not uncommon. So just more to draft, more drafting all summer long. Be getting into it. Yeah, here's that team I just drafted. Good stuff. I'm always interested to see as well who's in these rooms, because I'm starting to get familiar with some of these names. I don't recognize any of them especially. I've caught PPR Tyler in some of these rooms, which is pretty funny. And when I saw Land Larson, I was like, I thought that had to be him. About 2 weeks ago, Tyler was the only one drafting Land Larson. He was single-handedly keeping an ADP for Land Larson, which was hysterical. But yeah, appreciate y'all for hanging out tonight. It was a super late stream. We did it, 3-hour stream. We did 3 big boards, a Fast Draft, Origins. I'm so happy I got to finally do it on stream. Been waiting to do that for a while. More to come, more content next week. I'm going and taking pretty much, I'm going to take most of this weekend off from streaming, do some family time. Might throw in one surprise stream on like a Friday or Saturday night. We'll see. Otherwise, I'll be back early next week. I've got something lined up for Wednesday, a special guest that I was talking about at the beginning of the stream. So be on the lookout for that. I'll be announcing that very soon. Once that gets all confirmed, it's going to be a draft prep. A lot of ball talking, assuming that the big board's closed next Wednesday. Me and my special guest, who's a draft expert, are going to be coming on and just talking ball and reviewing some of our best big board teams. So what I'm going to do is, when I announce the guest on Twitter and on my YouTube, I'll do a YouTube post as well. I'll ask that if anyone wants to submit their favorite big board teams or biggest board teams, any of their pre-NFL draft best ball teams, I'll collect some of those, and then when we go live on next Wednesday, we'll review some of those, and it'll be a great time. Also, going for that 100 sub goal. So if you haven't already, make sure you're subbed to the channel. If you're watching this in the future, appreciate you, and make sure you're subbed. And for our Best Ball Mania Draftathon coming next week, when we hit that goal. Have a good night, Hartman. Real fun time. Have a great weekend, everyone. And catch you in another draft real soon. Let's shut the music down and throw it out to the intro, the outro. Peace. But overall, it's like the guy can ball. Like, actions speak louder than words.